President Trump announcing additional tariffs on the United Kingdom and 7 European countries on Saturday, linking the move to ongoing negotiations over the purchase of Greenland. Joining me now to discuss the latest developments surrounding the Arctic is Mark Meckler, president and co-founder of Convention of States. Mark, great to have you back on the program. It's been a while. President Trump threatening you as well. President Trump is threatening these 8 NATO countries with a 10% tariff starting on February 1st for working against the United States' interest in acquiring Greenland. How much leverage do you think this tariff gives the U.S.?
Well, I don't think that the tariffs alone are that much leverage, but I just think it's one more stick on the pile. Trump is using a very muscular form of foreign policy, and he's trying to force his way onto the world. I actually think it's best for the entire world. I agree with him in his attempts to acquire Greenland, or at least get control of strategic assets in Greenland. And I think this is just one more stick on that pile.
Now, the European Union is planning an emergency summit to meet and potentially counteract this tariff. Here's the EU Commission spokesman on their goals.
It's clear from the consultations among EU leaders, including President von der Leyen, that the priority here is to engage, not escalate, and avoid the imposition of tariffs. Why? Because this will ultimately harm consumers and businesses on both sides of the Atlantic.
Mark, how do you expect the EU to react, and do we as Americans have any reason to be concerned?
I don't think we have any reason to be concerned. It won't affect American consumers very much at all. In fact, what we've seen is the effects of all the tariffs Trump has imposed have been very muted. Inflation is not rising wildly or anything that people predicted. So I think this is just more speaking from the Europeans. It seems to be the one thing they're really good at, is talking and meeting and consulting. Ultimately, I think they're going to fold, and they've already started to fold. You see them, they say that they're going to have serious conversations about this issue. So I think this is just a face-saving maneuver from the Europeans.
And Mark, lastly on Greenland, what do you think is our greatest or strongest argument to get everybody on board? Trump also effectively giving a deadline for this deal on Greenland. He said the tariff will increase to 25% on June 1st if no deal is reached. And why is there such immediate importance, do you think?
Yeah, I think the best argument for this is it's what's best for the entire Western world. This is not a U.S. only thing, though I do agree with the America First aspects of it. But Greenland is unable to defend itself. Denmark clearly can't defend Greenland, nor can the entire European Union together defend Greenland. Greenland is a strategic asset. It is critically placed. It is the throughway for Russian nuclear submarine fleet to North America. It's a throughway for ballistic missiles flying to North America. We need Greenland, and the world needs us to control Greenland.
Yeah, our previous guest touched on that as well. A lot of the, glaciers in that area have melted, making it, as you said, a throughway for Russia into the United States. Switching topics a bit, Mark, with regard to the economy, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, he's in Davos right now ahead of the president's arrival. One of his key themes is America First trade is reforming the world. Break down what you think this actually means for us.
Yeah, I think what he means is that America First trade based on what's best for America, is actually creating a fairer system all over the globe. And what America is really looking for is just an equalized system to have the world quit taking advantage of us. And when that happens, what will happen is the entire system worldwide will start to balance out. We'll see a freer and fairer trade all over the world. That's good for everybody except for our adversaries.
Axios is reporting that the Treasury Secretary will be speaking about U.S. economic dominance, comparing it to European stagnation. What is your assessment of what he might be talking about to put those points into perspective?
Well, if you look at the overall performance of the EU's economy as a whole, it's pathetic at best and terrifying at worst. Their economies are in the doldrums. This includes Germany, which is the economic powerhouse of Europe. They have regulated and de-energized for, I don't know if that's even a real word. They have denuclearized, which has killed their energy industry. And so they've killed their industry overall, driving the price of energy up in their country. And again, that's the economic powerhouse, the manufacturing powerhouse of Europe. So they're driving themselves down. Meanwhile, if you look at what's going on in the US, it looks like we're going to see 5% growth, which is an absolutely incredible number. Inflation appears to be under control. Some prices, or a bunch of prices, are actually going down. Gasoline right now at historic lows. We're seeing interest rates come down. It looks like the American economy is revving up while Europe is at best stalled on the side of the road.
Lastly, we have some sound of Secretary Bessent this weekend commenting on Trump's tariffs, which are facing quite the test in the Supreme Court. Let's have a listen.
I believe that it is very unlikely that the Supreme Court will overrule a president's signature economic policy. They did not overrule Obamacare. I believe that the Supreme Court does not want to create chaos. We have set, as you said earlier, we have set these trade deals, and it is very good for the United States.
Mark, as we were just talking about with Greenland, Trump is using these tariffs strategically as leverage. What do you make of the Secretary's reasoning here?
Yeah, it's hard for me to say how the Supreme Court will rule, although I'm more likely to think they're going to split the baby and they're going to grant him wide powers when it comes to actual reasonable emergencies, but they may limit his ability to tariff nations that are not emergency situations. So, and this is something that Chief Justice Roberts loves to do. He loves split the baby kind of decisions. So that's what I expect on this one.
Mark Meckler, as always, really appreciate your insights. Thank you.